Okay, my name is Scott Bachelet, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about the sport of wrestling. And the reason I chose wrestling is because it's a sport that gets overlooked a lot today, and most people don't know very much about it. But it has a very fascinating history, and it's got a lot of benefits. I want to talk about a few of those, and then finally, I'm going to talk a little bit about the different levels of competition in the sport of wrestling. So, a little bit on the history. According to ThinkQuest.org, you can trace the history of wrestling back 15,000 years, where they found cave drawings that old in caves in France. And in some of the early relief pictures and paintings in Egypt and Babylon, you can see the same holds and moves being used then as we still use in modern day history. The Greeks also had a big part in wrestling. It was a really big deal for them. It was quite a bit more brutal in Greece than it was anywhere else, but it was the highest sport at the Olympic Games in Greece, and it continued to remain popular throughout the Middle Ages. Uh, it was such a respected sport that it could be found in many royal houses in France, Japan, and England. And then on some of the benefits, uh, self-discipline. Wrestling teaches participants self-discipline. It teaches you to push your mental and physical limits both. Being a one-on-one sport to where you're out there competing one-on-one for 6, maybe more minutes at a time, using every part of your body and every part of your brain to do nothing but beat this other person. You have to be disciplined enough to go through these long, excruciating, grueling practices that are just, I mean, it's cardio, strength training. But being a one-on-one sport, in order to win and be successful, you have to do this because you've got to be in good enough shape to where you can rely on yourself and nobody else, because there's no teammates out there to help you. So if you do want to be successful, then you learn that self-discipline is number one, and you've got to be able to go out there and push yourself and go through these practices and training. Another benefit is body weight management. In wrestling, there are different weight classes, and you're usually going to have to pull some weight, lose some weight to get down to where you're in your best shape in order to be competitive. You're not going to be able to go out there and wrestle somebody who's in their best shape, and then you're 10 pounds heavier but got 10 pounds to lose because they're going to beat you. You're going to be slow and not on top of your game. So through strict exercise and diet, you've got to have good diet to keep your strength. It teaches you how to maintain your body weight, because you've got to get this weight off to where you're healthy, and you've got to keep it off throughout the remainder of the season so you can keep competing at your best weight. Another benefit is it teaches self-esteem. Once you do get out there and you do learn, okay, I can beat this other person one-on-one, I can make it through these practices, I can do anything I want to if I want to, then it teaches you that self-esteem. You realize, okay, I can do whatever I put my mind to. And then a little bit finally about the different levels of competition. Starting from 4 years old and on up, if you can grasp the concept of wrestling, or your kid can grasp the concept at 4 years old, then there's probably an organization somewhere that has an elementary wrestling program to where they can go and compete in a tournament every weekend, whether it be a novice tournament or an open tournament. Especially in Oklahoma, it's one of the bigger states supporting wrestling. But from elementary, you go usually about junior high is where it becomes a public school sport, and that's where you start taking it in your athletics. And then from junior high on into high school, it becomes kind of more of a team sport, but individual in itself. I mean, you're out there competing one-on-one for yourself to win, but there's a point system. So as you win, you also get your team points. So there you're also learning how to work and be part of a team. And then after high school, if you're good enough, you can get scholarships and you can wrestle on into college. It is a collegiate sport, but where wrestling's unique from other sports, there's not really a professional wrestling. You're not going to go get paid millions of dollars to be a professional wrestler. If you want to stay involved after the collegiate level, you're either going to have to be a coach or you're going to have to be elite and get a invitation to the Olympics. But anyways, I hope you leave here knowing a little bit more about wrestling and where it came from and what it is. Thank you.